Hello, this is Dr. Praveen Ramachandra. I'm senior endocrinologist working in Diaplus Endocrinology Clinic in Newton, Bangalore, India. Please watch this video.
Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. If you've ever wondered how everyday playtime actually physically shapes a baby's developing nervous system, well, you're in for a treat today. We are unpacking a really fantastic patient education module developed by Dr. Praveen Ramachandra. He's a senior endocrinologist at the Diaplus Endocrinology Clinic in Yelahanka, Bangalore, India. And we're going to look exactly at how different parenting styles actually help regulate a baby's brain.
Okay, let's dive into this with an incredible piece of clinical reassurance. If you've ever worried that you and your partner aren't, perfectly aligned in how you soothe or play with your baby, take a deep breath. You aren't supposed to be. Babies actually thrive on these wonderfully different interactions.
So, here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Diaplus Parenting Guide. 2. Safe base versus play base. 3. Why we play differently. 4. Navigating father absence. And 5. The ultimate parenting goal.
Starting right off with Section 1, the Diaplus Parenting Guide, Understanding Complementary Roles.
This first concept is basically going to change how you view your daily routines because it's all about teamwork through difference. Research clearly shows us that parents are not doing the same job in the exact same way. Generally speaking, mothers and fathers bring totally different flavors of interaction to the nursery. And these styles, they snap together like puzzle pieces to fully support a child's overall brain and emotional development.
Moving into Section 2, Safe Base versus Play Base, and how parenting styles differ.
And this brilliantly illustrates what this actually looks like in the living room. Maternal play is usually highly nurturing, right? It's focused on soothing, establishing calming routines. It's very safe and predictable, which helps release essential bonding hormones like oxytocin. Paternal play, on the other hand, swings in a totally different direction. Fathers typically bring this energetic stimulation, active exploration, and lots of excitement to the table, and that gives babies a really safe space to practice healthy cortisol and adrenaline regulation.
To make this super concrete, let's look at some practical, everyday examples from the clinic's guide. For routines, a mother might focus on gentle rocking, while a father introduces a sudden, playful surprise. And look at the games. Mom plays gentle, face-to-face games like peekaboo. Dad, he's usually the one flying the baby around like an airplane or initiating those rough-and-tumble sessions on the carpet. And notice the response to emotions here. A mother typically notices discomfort very quickly and rushes in to soothe, whereas a father often tolerates loud squeals, kind of encouraging the baby to push their boundaries just a little bit more.
If we distill all of this down, it's really about two very sticky concepts. One parent acts as the safe base, providing comfort, protection, and helping the baby regulate early emotions. The other acts as the play base, providing adventure, building confidence, and giving the baby a safe space to practice high excitement, so they learn comfort from one and courage from the other.
Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds. Why we play differently, looking at the science and evolution.
You might be wondering, why are we wired this way? Well, the evolutionary biology is honestly fascinating. Human babies are born incredibly vulnerable. To survive and ultimately thrive, they evolved to need two completely distinct types of support. They absolutely had to have that protective safe base for basic survival and early attachment, but as they grow, they also need rough-and-tumble play. It gives them a controlled environment to practice self-control, figure out how to handle really intense excitement, and test their physical limits safely. Basically, they need both the protective shield and the gentle push. Now, I want to inject a really important clinical reassurance right here. These are average patterns observed in research, not rigid, unbreakable rules. We are definitely not putting anyone into a gender box here. Lots of mothers are the primary play base, and many fathers are the ultimate nurturing safe base. The big takeaway isn't about exactly who is doing what. It's just about ensuring the baby has access to both of those vital types of interaction.
Bringing us to Section 4, Navigating Father Absence and what happens when dynamics change.
So what happens when family structures look a bit different? Specifically, how does the absence of a father actually affect a baby's development? This is a question that can cause a ton of anxiety for expecting parents or non-traditional families, so let's look objectively at what the data actually tells us. When that specific type of energetic physical play is completely missing from a baby's life, there are potential impacts.
Babies might develop slightly weaker emotional regulation simply because they haven't had the practice of getting highly excited and then having to calm back down. We might also see lower social curiosity or even higher internalizing symptoms later on, like anxiety, just from fewer chances to safely practice those extremes. So, the crucial point is this quote right here. Father absence does not automatically harm a baby. Just let that sink in for a second. If you are a single parent, please know that guilt is absolutely not required here. The absence of one specific biological figure is not an automatic sentence for developmental issues. Because what the data actually shows is that the true developmental risk comes from a lack of play combined with a high-stress environment. Disruption of caregiving, poverty, chronic family conflict, or very low social support. Those are the real culprits for developmental delays, not simply the lack of one specific person in the home. And the really wonderful news is that these play-based needs, that stimulation, the excitement, the practice with regulation, they can absolutely be met by others. A single mother can provide great rough-and-tumble play. Grandparents can step in. Literally any stable, caring adult who provides regular face-to-face play can step up and ensure the baby's needs are beautifully met. And that leads perfectly into Section 5, the ultimate parenting goal, responsive caregiving. At the end of the day, this is the most empowering lesson from Dr. Ramachandra's clinic. What a baby's developing brain craves above absolutely all else is consistent, loving interaction. The ultimate goal isn't some perfect 50-50 split of traditional roles. The goal is responsive caregiving. It's noticing when your baby needs a safe harbor to calm down, and knowing when they need a runway to explore and be wild. To summarize his core lesson, different does not mean better or worse. It means complementary. Whether you're the one rocking the baby softly to sleep, or you're the one tossing them in the air just to hear them giggle, your unique parenting style is an essential, irreplaceable piece of their developmental puzzle. So I want to leave you with this to think about. How will you balance the safe base and the play base in your child's life today? Take a moment to just appreciate the different ways the adults in your child's life interact with them. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, keep fostering those amazing, complementary connections.